Your body isn't just human, it's ancient, and in a very real way, the entire history of the universe is within you. To see that, we have to start at the very beginning. Every atom in your body has a history. And that history doesn't start with you or your parents or even Earth. It starts near the beginning of the universe itself. Shortly after the Big Bang, the universe was extremely hot and dense. As it expanded and cooled, the first simple atoms formed. Mostly hydrogen, a little helium, almost nothing else. That hydrogen is still around today. Some of it is floating between stars, some of it is locked inside planets, and some of it is inside you right now, in the water you drink and the molecules that make up your cells. But the more interesting atoms in your body didn't exist back then. Carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, calcium, iron. Those elements weren't made at the beginning of the universe. The universe had to grow old enough to make them. They were forged inside stars, deep in the cores of ancient stars. Intense heat and pressure forced simple atoms to fuse together. Hydrogen fused into helium. Helium fused into heavier elements. Over millions and billions of years, stars slowly built up the ingredients needed for chemistry and life. But stars don't last forever. When large stars reach the end of their lives, they explode in massive supernovas. These explosions scatter newly made elements across space like cosmic seeds. Those elements drifted through the galaxy. They mixed with clouds of gas and dust, and eventually they became part of new stars, new planets, and new systems, including ours. That means the carbon in your cells was once inside a star. The oxygen you breathe was once forged in stellar cores. The iron in your blood was created in explosions powerful enough to light up entire galaxies. Your body is carrying material that's more than 13 billion years old. You're not just living in the universe, you're made from its leftovers. Now let's move closer to home. Around 4.6 billion years ago, our solar system began forming from a cloud of gas and dust. That cloud already contained material from many earlier generations of stars. Some grains inside it were older than the sun itself. As gravity pulled that cloud together, most of the material formed the sun. The rest flattened into a disk, where planets slowly grew. Earth formed in just the right place, not too close to the sun, not too far away, close enough for liquid water to exist. Earth's chemistry mattered too. Water pooled on the surface, minerals dissolved into it, simple organic molecules formed. Over time, those molecules began interacting in more complex ways. No one knows exactly how life started, but we do know that Earth had the right ingredients and the right conditions for it to happen. And the elements in your body still reflect that history. The ratios of elements inside you closely match the ratios found in Earth's crust and oceans. Your body isn't built from rare cosmic stuff, it's built from the same materials that make up this planet. You are Earth's chemistry rearranged into a living form. Now let's look at something even older than your body. Your DNA. DNA is often described as a blueprint, but it's more like a library. A very old one. The DNA in your cells carries instructions that have been passed down for roughly 4 billion years. Not copied perfectly, but copied well enough to survive. Every generation added small changes. Some helped, some didn't. The ones that worked stayed. This means your DNA contains information that once belonged to ancient microbes, early animals, and distant ancestors you'll never know. Many of your genes have close matches in bacteria. Others are shared with plants, others with fish, reptiles, and mammals. This doesn't mean you're part plant or part bacteria in a simple way. It means life reused what worked. Evolution doesn't start from scratch. It builds on what's already there. One of the clearest examples of this lives inside every one of your cells: mitochondria. Mitochondria are tiny structures that act like power plants. They take energy from food and turn it into a form your cells can use. Without mitochondria, complex life wouldn't exist. And here's the strange part. Mitochondria were once independent bacteria. Billions of years ago, an early cell absorbed a bacterium but didn't digest it. Instead, they formed a partnership. The bacterium provided energy. The host provided protection. Over time, they became inseparable. Today, mitochondria still have their own DNA. They still resemble bacteria in many ways. You're carrying the descendants of ancient microbes inside you, quietly powering your life. That partnership is older than animals, older than plants, older than complex cells, and it's still working. And it's not the only ancient system inside you. Many of the chemical processes your cells use today are extremely old. Some are older than multicellular life itself. Fermentation, for example, is a way of producing energy without oxygen. Early life used it long before Earth's atmosphere had much oxygen at all. Your cells still use versions of these pathways when oxygen is low. Ribosomes, the structures that build proteins in your cells, are also ancient. They work almost the same way in bacteria, plants, and humans. That means parts of your cells are operating with designs that have barely changed in billions of years. You're not just a modern organism, you're a collection of ancient solutions that never stopped working. And you're not alone inside your body. In fact, there are more microbial cells in and on you than human cells. Your gut, skin, mouth, and other areas are home to vast communities of bacteria and other microorganisms. These microbes help digest food, train your immune system, and even influence mood and behavior. They didn't evolve for you. They evolved for themselves long before humans existed. You're just the latest environment they've adapted to. Your body is an ecosystem built on partnerships that go back to the earliest days of life. Now let's zoom out again and talk about energy. The energy that powers your body ultimately comes from the sun. Plants capture sunlight through photosynthesis. They turn light into chemical energy. Animals eat plants or other animals, passing that energy along. Every movement you make, every thought you have, every heartbeat depends on that flow of solar energy. And the atoms involved are part of cycles that have been running for billions of years. Your chemistry is cosmic! You're not separate from the universe, you're one of its arrangements. All of this leads to a strange but powerful idea. You are the end point of an unbroken chain of transformations, from energy to matter, from matter to stars, and from stars to planets, from planets to life, and from life to thought. Nothing was wasted, nothing was reset, everything was reused, and somehow all of that led to a being that can look inward and ask where it came from. That doesn't mean existence was planned, it doesn't mean it had a goal, but it does mean it wasn't random in the way we usually think. Each step followed from the last. Your consciousness didn't appear out of nowhere. It emerged from matter organizing itself over time, following rules that allowed complexity to grow. And in that sense, when you think, the universe is thinking through you. When you reflect, the universe is reflecting on itself. That might sound big, but it's also very simple. You are matter that remembers where it's been. Seeing yourself this way can change how you think about identity. You're not isolated, you're not disconnected, you're part of a story that started long before you and will continue long after. So the next time you think of yourself as small or separate, remember this. Inside you is a universe that took billions of years to become aware. And that leaves one quiet question worth sitting with. If the entire history of the cosmos is written inside your cells, what might you choose to do with that inheritance while you're here? Comment your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.